All right, number 4, I'm going to solve using substitution. So we have p minus 5 times the square root of p. I'm going to write this as p to the 1/2 power. And then equals -4. One thing you need to notice, the relationship between each of these variables when we're doing factoring. If the middle term is exactly half of the first term when you have a trinomial, you can use factoring. We're going to let a substitution for p to the 1/2, so we'll just say x equals p to the 1/2 power. Well, if that's the case, what does p equal? Well, if you focus on this, and to get p by itself, you would have to take this p to the 1/2 and square it. That's going to get rid of that, so that'll give you p. Well, that means consequently you would need to square the other side, if that's what p to the 1/2 equals, and then that will leave you with a p equals x squared. So we're going to use substitution again. The x is going to be here, and this p to the first power is going to be the same as x squared. So x squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. 1 times 4 gives us 4. Factors of 4, 1 and 4, 2 and 2. We want to add to get 5. That will be 1 and 4. X, and then the 1 and the 4, it's going to be a -5. Bigger number is negative, same sign, equal to 0. Solve, and we get x equals 1 and x equals 4. However, you got to go back and replace the x with what we started with, which was p to the 1/2 or the square root of p. So I'm going to write it as square root of p. And to get p by itself, same thing, we're going to raise it to the 2nd power. You got to do that to both sides. It gives us p equals 1 and p equals 16. Number 5, we want to do substitution again. So I'll just start a new one. I'm going to use u. It doesn't matter which letter you use, but u is going to be that expression inside, which is y squared minus 2. Okay, so that's what I'm plugging in. So the y squared minus 2 is going to become a u plus 4u, and then minus 12 equals 0. 1 times 12 is 12. Factors of 12 that subtract and give me 4. I'm going to look ahead, are 2 times 6. So it will factor. Separate the u. Add the 2 and the 6. Bigger number is positive. They're different, so this is going to be negative. Set it equal to 0. We get u equals 2. Add 6, we get subtract 6 equals -6. And then once we get to this point, we just go back and replace our u's with what we started with, which was y squared minus 2. Since that middle term doesn't have a variable this time, I didn't move it over. I'm going to move this over to the other side to get the y squared by itself. So I'm going to add 2. It'll give me y squared equals 4. Take the square root of both sides. When a number, you add plus or minus, and we get y equals positive or negative 2. And this one we will add 2. Y squared equals a negative 4. Take the square root of both sides, plus or minus, and we get y equals, now since this is negative, it's going to be imaginary. Square root of 4 is 2. Positive or negative 2i. So positive or negative 2 and a positive or negative 2i.